how are you? I am bringing you along with me today. Today actually happens to be Rob's birthday. We've got a birthday in the house today, so I am running some errands right now. So today on the agenda, I've got a cake to bake. I always make a homemade German chocolate cake, and I have a recipe that my mother-in-law passed down to me, and we're gonna go ahead and bake that up today. And then I am going to attempt to make Rob a card with my Cricut Maker. I don't know, we're gonna have to see how it goes. I did watch a tutorial on YouTube, so I'm hoping that that's going to help me. I'm kind of taking that design and just gonna kind of make it my own. So I've got errands to run. I need to go get cake stuff. I need to go get card stuff. So we're gonna go to Target, we're gonna go to Michael's, and I'm gonna stop at the post office, check our P.O. box, make sure that we've got everything out of there. I've got my lists right here. I've got a couple of different lists here, and we are gonna go ahead and get this day going. So I've got my superfoods and veggies. I am fueling up because we are in a little bit of a hurry because we live stream tonight. Yes, he's working on his birthday, but what do you do? It's just what we do. So I am going to definitely try and hurry up and get everything done so I can come back and I'm not rushed, because I'm thinking that making this card is either gonna take 10 minutes or it's gonna take 5 hours. I don't know yet. And obviously we gotta bake a cake. So, all right, let's get going. I'm really glad that I allotted some extra time here at the post office because holy, this line was so long, but it did give me some time to look at the Hallmark cards. However, I did not get a birthday one because I have faith in myself. How cute is this handwriting though? Because you know it's a little guy. Love it, love it. Okay, a little bit of a PSA for the post office, because this is something, I go to the post office every single day. We usually are dropping off packages. I'm checking our P.O. box every day. So I'm in there often. And one of the biggest things that I see is that people come in and number one, they don't have their stuff packaged. At least have it in your packaging before you get up to the counter. The other thing is they don't have addresses, or you only have a piece of the address that you need to send to. And then people are standing up at the counter and they're texting whoever they're trying to send to, or they're calling them, trying to get the rest of that address. Y'all, at least, bare minimum, have your package ready to go and have the address ready when you go to send somebody something. Just make sure that you have those two little things, and that'll make everybody's life so much easier. So, just a little bit of a PSA. I am here at Target. We are here for cake stuff. So, let's go get it. So we got all the baking things. We also stocked up on all the wine, and then I headed over to Michael's, and it was really cool because everything was either 50% off or it was buy one, get one 50% off. So I felt like I was totally winning. I wasn't exactly sure about what I wanted the card to look like. I just thought I'll get a bunch of different options, and then as I'm creating it, then it'll kind of come into form in my head. So that's exactly what I did. I ended up getting a bunch of different card stock. This one here had like a kind of a linen type of a feel to it. I had some that were just plain. I had others that looked like they were a little bit like aluminum. We had some foil papers. So I just knew that I wanted to get a bunch of different things, so I had options. I got the scoring tool so I can make the folds. I got the bone presser to help those folds, and then I got adhesive tape. These were the things that were recommended in the video, so that's what I got. Once I took stock of everything I had, I decided to go ahead and start making the cake. This is German's chocolate cake, and it is Rob's favorite cake. It is what I have made him for his birthday for as long as I can remember. And this is a recipe that was passed down from my mother-in-law. So I won't be sharing the exact recipe here, but I'm sure if you Google homemade German's chocolate cake, you're gonna get an awesome recipe. And I will say, if you like chocolate, if you like pecans and coconut, you will absolutely love this cake. It is so good. So you're supposed to use the German's chocolate that I buy. It's the Baker's brand. I bought it at Target. And I often will just put it in the microwave. I know a lot of people use the double broiler, but the bottom line is it just needs to be melted, and you can totally do that in the microwave. I start at 30-minute increments, and then towards the end, I go down to 15-minute increments. And as long as it's smooth when you stir it, you are good to go. But I just find it a lot easier to do it in the microwave than to do the double boiler thing with the boiling water and then put the bowl over the water and kind of let it heat up slowly that way. It takes longer.
There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down.
This cake batter smells absolutely amazing. So mid-mix, I always pull out the mixer and then I scrape the bottom, and make sure you really get in there, because you can see that if your scraper doesn't get to the very bottom, that mixing blade doesn't go down to the bottom of your bowl, you're gonna miss a lot of that cake flour. So I just go in and I scoop it up and make sure that I keep mixing, and I mix. I personally like to mix for a good 2 minutes on medium to high. I think it adds in a little bit of air and it just makes for a fluffier cake. This is also a cake that I make for my son on his birthday as well. And I've actually made this in jumbo cupcake format, and they are wonderful that way too. I used extra virgin olive oil to grease the pans, and then I used just regular flour to coat it, and into the oven they go. I believe in working smarter, not harder. So I'm just filling up the mixing bowl so that everything can kind of soak. So when I'm ready to wash them, it'll be super, super easy to do. I am very aware that there are tools out there that you can buy that are egg separators. So you can separate the yolk from the egg whites, but I just think this is the easiest way to do it. It's the way I've always done it. I don't even know who taught me how to do this. I probably saw it on a video or something, but you just crack the eggshell right in half, and then you just separate the egg yolk from the egg whites. Super easy to do. And listen, I am a kitchen gadget fanatic. I love kitchen gadgets and things that make just anything in the kitchen easier. However, sometimes it's just easier to do it the old-fashioned way. And I have this mallet that I've had forever, and this is something that you would use to tenderize meat. So I use the flat side, and I literally just put the pecans on the floor and just go to town. This is actually super fun for me, and it gets the pecans chopped up in exactly the perfect size for the frosting. And this is actually kind of expensive. If you were to just buy the chopped pecans at the grocery store, you get more bang for your buck when you buy whole nuts. So that's what I do, and that's how I make them a little bit smaller. And just side note, I had to keep my eye on the cake because I did not set a timer. And so I just kept going back and forth and just double checking and making sure that they were good to go. And luckily they were perfect. So I pulled these out of the oven, and then I went ahead and I finished up making the frosting. And the frosting itself is really easy to make. Condensed milk, granulated sugar, lots of butter, and I should say lots of granulated sugar, lots of butter, some vanilla there, and then you add in the coconut flakes and you add in the pecans. And I actually like to just check the consistency, and then I add in more pecans and more coconut, and it actually kind of doubles up the size of the frosting, which I love. The more, the better. So now I just, while everything is cooling, before I put the cake together, I make sure that the kitchen is nice and clean. And by the time I finish that, now everything is cooled to a perfect temperature to put it all together. Spoiler alert, this cake came out fantastic. It was super, super yummy. And this cake is really easy to make. It's pretty, and it is definitely a birthday staple in our household. Okay, now project time. And what I did was I used, and I'm gonna actually link the video that I watched and kind of emulated. I'll link that video down below for you, but it was so helpful. And I literally just did like step by step. I would pause her video and then kind of do the step and then go back to her video, and it just made it so much easier. And I'm a very visual person, so it really helps me when other people do a step by step so that I can follow along and really kind of get it right. And it's one thing I absolutely love about the YouTube creators community, because they absolutely show you how to do everything and anything. If there's something that you want to know how to do, somebody within the YouTube community has created a video, a step-by-step video for you to follow so you also can learn how to do it. Everything that I've done with my Cricut Maker is something that I have learned from somebody else on YouTube. So I am very appreciative of everybody who has those educational videos out there, because they definitely have saved me a lot of time, and they have saved me a lot of just grief with giving the tips and all those things. So yeah, absolutely love it. So these are all the pieces cut, and I don't know, well, I should have put more pressure here because it didn't, you can see it didn't like go all the way through. These did not come out like this is. So I'm just gonna have to take an X-Acto knife and just kind of go through that. And then the other thing was it didn't score this card, and I don't know how I missed that step. I thought it walked us through all of the different like steps, but apparently not. So we'll figure that out. That's okay. We'll just have to fold it on our own and we'll make do. But yeah, this is kind of cool, right? Love. Let's put it together. So I'll share this because I think it's a little bit funny, but when I handed the card to Rob, he said, "Oh, is this what we've come down to, that we're just making each other cards?" And in the back of my mind, I'm like, you have no idea how much time I spent trying to figure this out. But when he said that, I realized that I had completely forgotten to write on the inside of it. So I had to step away for a moment. All right, you guys, I absolutely love how this came out. Listen, it's not perfect. That's okay. I'm totally okay with that. But I filled in and I did smear a little bit, but it's okay. We learn as we go. But I love how this came out. So I'm going to let this dry while we live stream. So just before I give it to him, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to glue it on right there. And I don't know, I think for my first card, I think that's pretty darn good. And then I'll write my message inside. But right now it's live stream time. So we're gonna let this dry. I think that'll be a perfect amount of time because it's pretty goopy on there for sure. I didn't have time to like come in and really show you the rest of how our evening went last night because we were kind of in a hurry. but I do want to show you that I did come down and I finished Rob's card. I glued that top piece onto that black piece. I love the way this card came out. I think it is super, super cool, and I had a ton of fun making it. So I've got some ideas of another card that I want to make for sure. And yeah, absolutely love the way this came out. So yesterday ended up being a success, and I love the way his card turned out. The cake was super yummy, and I will say that Rob had a little bit of an incident happen yesterday on his birthday of all days, and somebody had broken into his truck and bashed in a window and rummaged around and broke like a glove compartment and the center console. So that was a little bit of a downer, but we are thinking of it as whoever did that, whoever had to have been desperate enough to steal from a regular person, then they obviously needed it more than we did. And they had stolen a few boxes of coins that he had just picked up from the bank. So we're choosing to look at it in the best light that we can. We ended up live streaming. If you were on that live stream with us over on Rob's coin channel, you know what had happened. And we love all that support for sure, because it definitely raised Rob's spirits, and we ended up having a wonderful night. The cake was amazing. We Zoomed with family. We got to sing happy birthday to him, and Kaylee and Alex came over, her boyfriend came over, and we were able to eat dinner, and it ended up being a wonderful evening. So besides that one little thing, it was a great day, and we ended up getting a ton of stuff done. So thank you for spending the day with me, and we made a cake. We made a really cool card. I can't wait to dive into the Cricut Maker a little bit more and do even more things like this, because this was a lot of fun. All right, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you've not subscribed to Charlani TV, I would love it if you did. Bye guys.